move. It's not gonna wait. Come on. Nearly there. In light of your unique situation, joining us as a fifth year, we've devised something extraordinary to ensure your success. A lot to absorb on your first day.
Can't believe I'm here.
Professor Weasley has asked that your professors give you instruction outside of the ordinary curriculum.
You have much to learn.
You have the benefit of an exceptionally skilled team of witches and wizards to guide you.
A surprised opponent is a weak opponent.
They will test your abilities, both innate and learned. You've done it!
I am wary of how much time the new fifth year seems to be spending away from the castle.
No need for theatrics. I'm only here for this one anyway.
What do they want with a Hogwarts student?
I have a rare ability to see whispers of ancient magic.
Extraordinary.
It's a powerful magic that should only be wielded by a select few.
The path we're on is terribly dangerous. But I do not know where it leads.
I'm afraid you're on your own. I've ensured that we have a moment to ourselves.
Let's even her odds, shall we?
We leave our legacy in your hands.
I was never meant to be a warrior.
Get up now!
Stop screaming, for the love of God.
I was a peasant. My place was around the forge. Or the pub.
Drinks around the house!
But adventure found me. And I found this lot.
Watch out, here we go.
Henry, our hero Henry, the fellow who helps his fellow man.
His fellow man.
I only hope I live long enough to avenge the ones I lost.
No doubt you've got a cunning plan for us to get out of here, right?
You chose a different path than I wanted for you. And maybe that's how it was meant to be. But once you've chosen the path of adventure, you have to fight.
There they are!
Well, now we're really fucked. You have to fight till the bitter end.
The most adventure I was expecting was a fuck or two.
Hey everyone! We've been quiet for some time, since, like the rest of the world, we had some unforeseen hurdles to clear. But the wait is over. Let's dive into the open world of Dying Light 2. The last slice of Dying Light 2 showcased the mission from the main storyline.
You get after those fuckers.
You saw how your decisions influenced the narrative and notably changed the environment. This time, we want to give you a broader look at the game and a sneak peek at some of the things we'll be talking about in upcoming months. In Dying Light 2, you become Aiden Caldwell, an outsider trying to unravel a tangled mystery from his past. Its trail leads him to the city, probably the last bastion of mankind in the world.
Shit!
At first, you feel like this intense, brutal place will tear you apart. But then you meet the Night Runners, veteran survivors who help people in better days.
By the way, I'm Hagon.
You were a night runner. You used to help people, remember?
Night Runners are gone. Finished. A myth.
And although it's not entirely clear you can trust them, you need allies in the dark. And these are the modern Dark Ages. It's been 15 years since the apocalypse and the world has changed. The old civilization has fallen, but a new one has been built on its ashes. People fight desperately for scarce resources. Rules are broken, and weakness is punished.
She's innocent!
3 factions struggle for position in the city. Survivors pride themselves on being able to adapt to any circumstances and cobble together safe zones almost everywhere. Peacekeepers, loyal soldiers who want to impose their version of law and order and trample all in their path. Renegades, ex-prisoners serving their ruthless colonel, seeking to become sole rulers of the city.
Where is Waltz? Make him tell me.
Use these factions to reach your goal. Help or harm them to reshape the city to your liking. Just remember, each faction contains complex characters.
Nosy Parker, ain't ya? Got some kind of bad habit of yours?
So, will you follow cold calculation or your heart?
The Bazaar needs good people. Help us and you'll find a home here.
Some in the city offer no chance for an alliance. Bandits, outlaws, and common thugs live only to plunder and kill, plunging the streets into chaos. Yet, nightfall scares all of them equally. darkness changes the rules of the world. As the light fails, monsters crawl out of hiding to prey on the poor souls caught outside the safety of UV rays. Hordes of infected pour into the streets like decaying lava. The deadly spawn of 15 years of mutation and evolution. Your only escape? Exploit the city's verticality and flee to the roofs. Though even there, you are never safe from swift and deadly virals. Or even greater threat. Yet night brings opportunity as well. Nests rife with infected during the day now lie empty. To explore them, you must tread carefully. But those brave enough to face the terrors of the night can loot a jackpot. Luckily, you have all the tools you need to survive. Your extraordinary parkour skills allow you to navigate even the most treacherous terrain. On the roofs, you can count on your parkour acrobatics to save your life. But often, you'll have to face your enemies head-on. And then you have to be smart, resourceful, and determined. We've worked hard on the essence of our combat, making sure swinging a big, meaty weapon is fun, satisfying, and well executed. But even the most brutal fights can be tactical as well. You have multiple ways to hone your skills toward the gameplay style that suits you best. It's up to you if you focus mostly on mobility and parkour, or aggressive, blunt force combat, or a crafty approach where the tools you've created get the job done. Every ability you learn can be a game changer and possibly a new favorite move. Things move fast and quick in Dying Light 2. Each moment matters. Each move could mean triumph or defeat. Choose your actions and friends carefully. Everything you do in the city can reshape the gameplay environment, change the course of the narrative, and decide the fate of the city's residents. But most importantly, you decide your own fate as well.
You're about to turn.
Make sure to stay human.
The Zone was never a friendly place. Scenic and breathtaking, yes. But don't be fooled. Gunfire in the Zone hasn't subsided for many years, which is why you won't find a person here without a weapon. And if you need one, you might come across stashes left by stalkers who decided to hide their guns and best gear for the future. Before heading out on your next adventure, check your gear. Repair it if needed. Otherwise, you may face, well, consequences. And don't forget, without ammo, your piece is useless. Be sure to know where you're heading so you can grab the ammo type you want, especially if you need something unique. There's a tool for every scenario. Depending on what kind of stalker you are and how you prefer to navigate the zone, you can upgrade your best friend with various attachments found along the way, installing them on the go to adapt to the exact fight at hand. And hey, if you want to stick with your firearm for a bit longer and customize it further, technicians will be happy to assist, but not for free. These guys can repair and upgrade your gear to suit your gunfight style, making it more specialized for specific circumstances, or vice versa, turning it into a versatile tool for any situation. Remember, the zone is a unique place, but the laws of physics and ballistics still apply. Each gun feels and fires differently, and its effectiveness depends on the distance and the type of armor you're up against. That's why, my friend, preparation is key to survival. But don't forget, this place is full of surprises. The more you know the zone and expect the unexpected, the better your chances of living another day, exploring her mysteries and secrets, and reaching the goal you've set for yourself.
Hi, I'm Scott Phillips, Game Director on Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Today I'm excited to give you a sneak peek at 3 years of hard work from the Ubisoft Quebec team, and our transformation into a full-blown RPG with choice at the center of everything. In Assassin's Creed Odyssey, you will play a mercenary who embarks on an epic odyssey to reunite their family and confront the ones who tore it apart. Your ship, the Adrestia, will be your home base and its crew like family as you seek adventure sailing the Aegean seas and exploring the lands of 5th century BC ancient Greece. And for the first time ever, you will choose to play as either a male or female hero, Alexios or Cassandra. Both heroes will share the same story and gameplay possibilities. Today, we're going to play as Cassandra as she arrives at the beautiful Greek island of Mykonos. Mykonos represents just one of 8 different biomes of ancient Greece, each with their own style, stories, and adventures to discover. In Assassin's Creed Odyssey, choice is key, and it's why we've introduced interactive dialogues.
Ah, Mykonos Island, built from the corpses of giants slain by the legendary Iraklis.
Read me the note again.
Eagle-bearing Mystios. That's you. We are a small but fierce group of rebels who'd pay you handsomely to help us overthrow our Athenian oppressors. A warrior named Diocles fights with them. None who face him survive. Please, Mystios, our people are dying. Signed, Kira.
What did your informant tell you?
Dialogues like these allow the player to roleplay and impact the characters, world, and ultimately the outcomes of their adventures.
There's also word of Spartans landing on Mykonos.
So, I'm here to find Kira, who wants me to kill Diocles.
An Athenian ally.
Who's at war with Sparta.
And don't forget the bounty!
Business as usual, then.
Gods protect you, Cassandra.
Thanks, Varnavas. But they'll be too busy protecting Diocles from me.
We've been spotted! Go! I'll handle it!
We've just been spotted by a mercenary hunting the bounty on Cassandra's head. Mercenaries are powerful enemies hired to hunt you down. Odyssey takes place during the Peloponnesian War, a time when the 2 powerhouses of Sparta and Athens are fighting for control of all Greece. Spartans and Athenians both use mercenaries to do their dirty work, but they also have armies of their own, as long as they remain strong.
Mercenary. This can't be good.
We've crossed paths with another mercenary hunting Cassandra. By killing mercenaries such as Malios, you can ultimately become the most famous and fearsome mercenary of ancient Greece. Just one of the many side stories of Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
You want my head? Come and take it!
Combat in Assassin's Creed Odyssey is focused on offense and quick movement. Instead of blocking, you will be parrying and dodging attacks to create openings to use your special abilities. These special abilities are devastating, thanks to the first civilization artifact that Cassandra wields, the Broken Spear of Leonidas. Creating a full-blown RPG was our goal from day one. Weapon, gear, and ability choice are key parts of that. Your gear is divided in 5 parts. Each item comes with its own stats and rarity, as well as perks that can be tailored to your playstyle. When leveling up, dozens of special abilities, each with multiple upgrades, become available. Once you've purchased a new ability, you choose where it's mapped on the controller, creating your own loadout. Choice in abilities, choice in weapons, and choice in gear will allow every player to have their own unique loadout and playstyle. Assassin's Creed Odyssey will constantly entice players with adventure across hundreds of quests, locations, as well as dynamic events.
Varnavas was right. Spartans have made themselves right at home.
And in those adventures, for the first time ever, you will be able to lie, betray, or roleplay the hero. It's all up to you and how you choose to play.
I'm looking for Kira.
What do you want with her?
Ha! The mercenary who bears the eagle of Zeus. You got my message.
It said something about paying me handsomely.
Huh. Mercenaries.
Athenians have enslaved our people for too long. Help us free Mykonos from their grasp, and you'll have more drachmi than you can carry.
I'm here to kill Diocles, not go to war.
Which is why I sent word of a rebellion to you and Sparta.
My men are ferocious in a ground assault, but we're outnumbered.
And Diocles fights with the fury of Ares.
Join us in battle. If you're half the warrior Kira says you are, we'll grind these Athenians into dust.
All right, Spartan. I'll fight with you. But Diocles is mine.
To battle, then.
Cassandra has agreed to help the rebels in a conquest battle. These conquest battles pit hundreds of soldiers against each other and can take place with or without the player's help when a nation becomes weak. The outcome of these battles, as well as your choices in the game, will have dramatic impacts and shape the future of Greece. We found the Athenian hero Diocles. Combat in Odyssey is fueled by adrenaline. Adrenaline is earned by dodging, parrying, and landing hits on enemies. When the player has enough adrenaline, it can be unleashed in devastating special ability attacks, like Sparta Kick. But your enemies have abilities of their own and will challenge you like never before.
Your life ends today!
With Diocles dead, Mykonos Island will now be controlled by the Spartans. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this sneak peek at the epic adventure of Assassin's Creed Odyssey, coming October 5th.
Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
They'll probably hang you, buddy.
You coming, buddy?
In the late 1800s, America was evolving, on its way to becoming the most powerful country in the world. New immigrants arrived, thriving outposts became towns, and civilization was spreading rapidly into the huge, wild, and lawless frontier. With Red Dead Redemption 2, Rockstar Games aims to create a living world that's not simply open, but deeper.
Come on, pretty boy.
More interactive and detailed than ever.
Pretty boy?
Combining action, storytelling,
We need to get those people warm and fed.
and gameplay in new ways. As you live, ride, and fight to survive as an outlaw in a notorious gang.
As long as we get paid or you get shot, I'm happy.
The game is an attempt to capture this pivotal moment when the age of outlaws was ending and the modern world was born. There is a huge world to explore, set across a range of America's heartland and frontier. From harsh mountain trails and dense forests to untamed swamplands and sweeping deserts, rugged livestock towns to modernizing cities and much more. All populated with a diverse cast of characters from turn-of-the-century life.
Now shoo, please. I'm waiting for someone interesting to turn up.
You play as Arthur Morgan, a trusted senior gun in the Vanderling gang, a band of outlaws and outcasts on the run from the pressures of civilized life.
We are gonna borrow a little money from old Uncle Sam and be out of his hair once and for all.
Each time they're forced to flee an area, the gang sets up a camp as a base. This is where gang members eat, sleep, perform chores, play games, and share stories.
Anyway, I got caught by some hill country sheriff stealing a chicken, I think it was, and he decided I was going to be hanged for it.
These are the people Arthur calls family, and you will get to know each gang member over the course of the game.
So, you save the silly bastard's life, then you and him go robbing sheep.
Helping the camp with food and supplies will keep morale high, while spending time with other gang members can reveal new secrets, fun things to do, and opportunities for mischief.
How about you and me go and redistribute some property?
In and out of camp, the world is alive and responds to the player.
Well, ain't this a rare treat?
And your guns aren't the only way to interact with the environment. Call out to a passing rider.
That's a nice horse.
Talk yourself into trouble with a local tough guy.
Clear out.
Or out of trouble with a town sheriff. Or intimidate a witness into silence, and more.
Keep your mouth shut, or you're dead, friend.
You don't want to involve yourself with this.
Confrontations can be escalated or diffused.
Take it easy. Do what you want. I don't care.
You can form friendships.
God, you did it.
Or make enemies as you choose.
You killed my cousin, you sick son of a bitch!
Your actions have consequences, and it's up to you to decide just how honorable Arthur is.
Should I have killed you, Jimmy Brooks?
Me? Shooting and fighting have both been radically improved to make combat deep and engaging at all times. Each weapon has unique characteristics, with realistic reload and recoil that always keeps the player grounded and connected to the action in a gunfight. In a similar way, the bond with your horse is crucial and changes based on your treatment of the animal.
Hold still, girl.
Some breeds are better suited for certain tasks.
I got a fella been looking for a decent workhorse like this for a while.
Your saddle and saddlebags can store extra weapons, along with supplies and animal carcasses that you pick up while out roaming or hunting. Over time, the bond between you and your horse will grow, making them easier to control in tense situations.
Yeah, he's a great horse, aside from when the devils got him.
A rich and varied ecosystem thrives in the world, full of predators, prey, and scavengers, all smart and sometimes deadly.
You want to come with me? I'll show you how we hunt one.
Hunting helps the camp or earns you money. Wound an animal and you'll have to track them down. Animal pelts and other items you find can be traded for cash to use at general stores, gunsmiths, saloons, and elsewhere.
This is God's own country, and I feel I'm in purgatory.
This is a world that is rich in depth and detail, all designed to be explored on horseback or on foot. As you live the fateful journey of a gang of outlaws on the run across America. In the next gameplay video, we'll look at missions, activities, enemy gangs, robberies, other things to do, and much more, including the evolution of sharpshooting using the Deadeye system.
Worlds Part 2 is possibly the biggest update No Man's Sky has seen for years, and while the trailer makes this update seem impressive, there is so much more that they've hidden away in the 6,000 words of patch notes. I've trawled through them all, so without further ado, here are all of the big changes that you may not have known about. The massive new gas giants were a big focus, but you'll only find them in the all-new purple class star systems, which means you'll need the new Atlantid drive fitted to your starship to get to any of them. One of the reasons for the new class was actually to be able to rework the planets and biomes without regenerating existing planets, so all your current constructions should be safe. The update also includes a huge ocean overhaul, letting you dive down kilometers deep, and the Nautilon submersible has new functionality to make this much easier. The environments look incredible, but they've quietly introduced water worlds, which are rare planets completely dominated by oceans, which contain the deepest water and huge waves. To encourage exploration, large resource deposits can now be found underwater too. We also got prawns, if anyone's particularly interested in that, but on another note, you can now put a flamethrower on any of your exocraft, which is more my sort of thing. Big landscape changes were shown off in the trailer, mainly enhancing valleys and mountains, but with this has come big biome updates too. While they were at it, Hello Games decided to ramp up their jungles with thicker vegetation, and their icy planet biome diversity has also been upgraded. I think this biome was perhaps slightly behind the others, so it's good to see. We can also get lakes, seas and oceans on purple system moons, and the floating islands that were introduced in Worlds Part 1 can now be found in more biome types. On top of these changes, you can now find relic worlds, which feature the crumbling ruins of ancient civilizations. You can excavate their architectural blueprints, which then allows you to build the ruins yourself from the new polished stone material. On the graphics side, the focus has mainly been lighting, which has really improved the underwater exploration. Shadows and lighting brightness in inside areas and caves has also been reworked though, and we have other effects like rain droplets rippling water and waves making objects bob up and down. Stars, clouds and other planets are also now reflected in large bodies of water. If you play on PS5 like myself, you'll be pleased to know that the game now supports variable refresh rate up to 120Hz, and loading times have also been reduced for everyone thanks to a new compression technique. Improved data caching has even made transitions like going from atmosphere to space even smoother than they already were. I can think of at least one game that needs to take some notes. From a quality of life point of view, there are some big changes here that they didn't really talk about. One of the biggest is Starship Cold Storage, a new feature which basically just lets you own more ships. Providing you have a capital ship, you'll be able to store an additional 18 starships in a storage hangar, and the ships will even retain their technology loadout, so they're really quick to redeploy. Also, with the new weapon rack base part, you can now do the same for multi-tools. Again, an additional 18 multi-tools can be stored long term. Alongside the gas giants, they've also added Titanic planets, which can be found only in those new purple class systems. They're absolutely huge and can warp the gravity of their many moons. Speaking of those gas giants, they experience extreme weather conditions, which make them only feasible to explore as a more experienced player. There are rewards to reap for doing this though, namely unique and valuable deposits and even atmospheric gases to harvest. There's a broader weather rework for normal planets too, which includes enhanced electromagnetic events, enhanced tornadoes and even gravity inversion zones. Other local environmental hazards have also been added to add to the survival challenge, including clouds of toxic spores to avoid, small-scale radioactive fallout and geothermal geysers. Possibly my favourite small tweak is the new re-entry effects, which look awesome in first person. They've even reworked the animation of the control stick and throttle so they respond accurately to your inputs. Other small changes include anomaly fishing missions and the starship automatically landing at the most convenient pad when you go to a space station. Smaller reworks to burnt worlds are also included, and the same can be said for mutated biomes found on radioactive planets. These previously more barren worlds are now more varied and include more life. A new favourites tab on teleporters is a nice addition for quality of life, letting you more quickly find the destinations you travel to frequently. There's also new buttons for sorting your inventory based on value, item type or name, and even something as small as east and west markers now appearing on the compass is a welcome change. New crafting trees also now show players the full map of construction steps required to get to the technologies that they want to build, which will certainly save a lot of trips to the No Man's Sky wiki. Perhaps the most unexpected feature in a Worlds update would be a cooking rework, but in true Hello Games style, they've only gone and done it. On board the Anomaly, you'll now find a food terminal where you can donate large amounts of edible items in return for nanites and esteem with the local species. The recipe system has also been overhauled, and just like with the technologies, there's now a crafting tree view to more clearly show the required steps. One cooking feature that's perhaps more of a quality of life feature is that nutrient processor contents can now be accessed at any time as long as you're nearby it. The nutrient processor can cleverly be used to expand your inventory storage, so this only makes that easier now. And if you're interested in learning more workarounds like this, head to my tips and tricks video linked in the description. There's also an all-new nutrient ingester technology, which basically just lets you stack up all your edible items in your exosuit and then have them automatically consumed when you need them or the boosts run out, rather than having to open your inventory each time. Moving on to Exocraft, first-person handling and visibility has been improved, and like with the starships, steering wheel and throttle controls now respond accurately to your inputs. I mentioned the Nautilon submarine rework earlier, and this actually includes specific dive and surface controls, increased speed and maneuverability, and an all-new dredging laser for that underwater excavation. There's also a new boost feature which requires no additional technology to utilise. Alongside this, the swimming controls and their responsiveness now feels a lot better, which is a much appreciated update given that we're all going to spend a lot more time underwater now. They've pretty much just built their own version of Subnautica at this point. Finally, you may not be aware that they've even added a new game mode. Abandoned mode lets you play the game without any alien life, which is quite a drastic change to the gameplay feel. Note though that you can't toggle it on and off in any of your current saves. You'll have to start a new one to try it out, and also note that there's no tutorial if you're playing in this mode. So that's all of the significant and less significant features and changes that Hello Games have quietly made. For me, the water world, starship storage, and 120Hz PS5 support are the ones I think I'll enjoy the most, but comment down below which changes you're most looking for.
The tarnished will soon return. Guided by grace, once lost. The Golden Order is broken to its core.
Of the Elden Ring, emboldened by the flame of ambition, someone must extinguish thy flame.
They will fight, and they will die in an unending curse. Be born.
Well, a lowly tarnished, playing as a lord. I command thee now!